In this video, you are going to learn how to do the fashion and portrait retouching in Adobe Photoshop. Coming up. Hi everyone, I am Harshvardhan. Welcome to harshvardhanart.com. In this special video, we are going to learn fashion and portrait or beauty retouching in Adobe Photoshop. So let's take a look what we are going to learn in this video.
Fashion beauty retouching in Photoshop, and we'll take this image and we'll turn this image into something like this.
Before we go any further, please hit the like button, and if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and don't forget to click the bell icon. That way you will not miss any new video from me. So having said that, let's get started.
So let's start editing the skin. So for that purpose, what we'll do, we'll first zoom in, pressing Ctrl space, and with our mouse we can zoom in, and we'll create a new blank layer from here. So that would create a new blank layer, and let me press Ctrl 1. So that's going to show us the 100% zoom. Alright, and thereafter we'll come over here on the spot healing brush tool. So this works fine, and this is the fastest way of doing this. And from the top we have to select the content aware, otherwise it's not going to work. And then it's very important that you select the sample all layers. Alright, the moment you select that, and thereafter you need to just make your brush size smaller. So you can press left bracket or the right bracket to do that, and just paint over those areas. So wherever you see the spot or any pimple or anything like that, just paint over that and it's going to fix that. We can even just work on the stray hairs. Alright, so now I'll just do this quickly and come back. So you can see I have done that. You can see by turning this on and off. This was before and this is after, before and after. Now let's merge them together by pressing Shift and selecting both of these, and by pressing Ctrl E or Command E, it would be merged. Now Ctrl S to save the file, and now we'll do the skin smoothing, and for this purpose we'll be using the frequency separation. So we'll press Ctrl J Command J twice, or to have duplicate copies of it, and from the top one we'll just double click it on the name and rename it as high, and the bottom one as low. Now we'll turn off the high layer off and select the low layer, and then we'll go to the filter, blur, and we'll choose the Gaussian blur, and we'll increase the blur to, let's say, something like this, where we don't see the details but we get the structure of the face. So maybe around over here, and then we'll press OK. And now we'll turn on the high layer on and select that layer. Then go to the image and select apply image, and from here select the layer as the low, and from here blending mode to the subtract. So we are subtracting the low data from the high data, and then scale should be 2 and offset should be 128. So that's the default one, and the opacity would be around 100%, and then we'll press OK. And now we are getting this weird result. Now we'll change the layer blend mode to linear light. If you want less effect, you can go for vivid light as well. So let's go for the vivid light, and we can even lower down its opacity if we don't want that much of smoothing. Now select both of these layers by pressing Shift and clicking on these two layers, and press Ctrl G Command G to group them together, and we'll call it, let's say, skin. Okay, and now at the moment it has even sharpened the it has even blurred the sharp areas which we don't want, like eyes and lips and all that. So for that purpose we'll create a black mask over it. So in order to do that, we'll press and hold Alt or Option and click on the mask icon. That would create a black mask. So black mask means it's completely hidden now, so this folder is not affecting the image at this moment. So for this purpose Now we'll paint only on the skin. So for that purpose, we'll choose the brush tool and foreground color should be white. From here, if it is not white, press D on your keyboard, D for default and X for switching or flipping the color. Select the mask and use the brush tool. That brush should be soft as and opacity should be 50%. Alright, and now we'll paint over the skin area. So let me show you. This is the soft round brush, which is the default one, which has the 0 hardness. So you need to select this one and now paint all over the skin. And wherever you want more blurriness or the more smoothness, just paint twice, because at this moment we are painting with 50% opacity. So we'll keep on doing this all over the body. So let me just do this quickly and come back. We have done this on the face. So you can see I've painted over the face and now skin on the face is very smooth. Now let's go to the Navigator and browse the different parts of the body. If Navigator is not visible for you, then go to Windows and select Navigator. So this way we can easily click and drag to other areas. So you can see the before and after. So even over here you can see I have painted. Earlier there were lots of stretch marks, and now they are less visible. So this is before. Earlier they were very much visible and now they are less visible. And let's go to the hand or the legs or on this leg. So you can see we have made it skin of the leg also smoother, and hand you can see. So if Navigator is not for you, then go for Windows and select Navigator. So you can see by turning this on and off, earlier those were very visible. Now the skin is very smooth and professional, and press Ctrl 0 to see it in full preview. Now let's add some skin texture, because at this moment you can see the texture is not over there on the skin. So we'll add some texture artificially, and for that purpose we'll use our action. So that is called the skin texture Harshvardhan art. So you can download this action from the link in the description section below. Go to the Windows and select action, and this action panel would be open. Then click on this hamburger menu and select the load actions and select the downloaded ATN file. This is different one, but you will find the skin texture Harshvardhan art action file, and then you will have this skin texture folder, and inside it there is one action. You just need to select this action skin texture and select the play button, and it's going to create some layer. So over here in the texturize, so here you need to select the light option. So you can even choose the scaling and brief. So scaling means you have more texture visible, and if you have the less scaling, so we'll have the less texture or less texture. And you can even work with the relief. You can see this shows even more. It has lots of contrast, so you can adjust it later on as well according with the opacity. And then we have to choose the light source. So we have to choose the light source according to our image. So in this case the light is coming from the top left corner. Hope I can show you, but at this moment it's not showing up. So I know that it's coming from the top left, and then I will press OK, and then it's going to create a folder, and the black mask is already created. And now we have to paint with the white color with the brush tool only over the area where we want the texture to be visible. So let's press Ctrl 1 to zoom in, go to the Navigator and go to the face, right? And then we'll select the mask tool or the mask layer. It's very important. And then we'll choose the softest brush with white color and opacity. Let's say go for 50 and start painting over the area where you want the texture to be visible. And if you want more texture, then you need to paint twice, because at this moment we are painting with 50% opacity. Flow is 100%. So slowly we are going to paint everywhere. So it's very important that you don't paint everywhere, because the skin texture is not visible everywhere. So there are certain areas where the texture is visible more, and there are certain areas where you don't even see the texture. So now you can see, if you feel that this is too much over here, you can just flip the color, or you can even lower down the opacity with 20%. You can flip the color to the black and then just paint. Okay, and you can even try to change their blend mode to see how it looks. With the soft light, this has become very minimal. It's there. I hope you are able to see it, but maybe you are not able to see it. But this texture is very slightest or very subtle, so you might be able to see it. And let's go for different layer blending mode. Overlay, it shows even more, and then we can lower down its opacity to something like this, around 64%. Okay, and this one looks good, I think. And if you want, even you can paint even more. And you can flip the color to black, and black would hide the texture, white would paint the texture. Because whenever we are using mask, so if we have the black mask, we need to paint on with the white color, and if we are using the white mask, we need to paint with the black color to hide that.